Thank you so much for joining us here today. We would like to start with a thought that the intelligence use of science and technology, we can use these tools to achieve a new direction. Uh, Very good evening to one and all present here to our new web series, Google Can Do This. Under this program, we will get a team of passionate Google educators from around the world on a virtual platform to run a marathon of stories using their favorite tool and showcasing a unique way they use it in their classroom. So, we have three speakers with us online here today. So, I would like to call upon Man de Guzman.
Hello, good day to
Hi, Man.
everyone. I'm not
Hi.
certain what time it is, where it is that you are, so I'm just saying good day to everyone.
So I would like to introduce Man to our fraternity present here. Man has started teaching as a college instructor in 1999 at the University of Philippines. After a 2 year stint in publishing, she found herself back in the classroom in 2001, but this time to teach high school. Currently, she is a school administrator and has handled students from kindergarten to senior high school. Man is an Apple teacher, a Google for Education certified trainer, and Google certified innovator. She has created videos for Google for Education as a part of Google Classroom video series. As a part of her personal advocacy, Man volunteers to train and organize professional development sessions for teachers in Philippines and in the Asia Pacific regions through her Google Educator groups. So we welcome you, Man. The stage is all yours. So we are
Thank
here
you,
going
Manu.
to learn something from you.
Yes, thank you, Manu. So I've been given a few minutes to share something that we can do for with Google, and I just want to set the stage for everyone else who is listening out there or might be new to it. Normally, when I do this talk, it's usually about an hour long because it has something to do with assessments and checking assessments. So normally, what would happen is I would teach you how to do a self correcting quiz that goes into a sheet. So let's just pretend that that has happened. And normally, what you will see then is a sheet that's very similar to this. If Mano can just show my screen at the moment. Okay. So normally, when a child, for example, uses a Google form to answer a quiz, this is what you will see. So you will see, for example, if you're collecting email addresses, and I strongly recommend that you do that when you're doing quizzes online. And then because it's self-correcting, the scores will be there already. Now, this is an actual set of answers from the school I work for, but I've blocked off their email addresses as well as their names because for data privacy reasons. Okay, so what I have here is a fifth grade English language arts test, and I can see now that my students and their students and the varying answers that they have. And what I would do with this as an administrator, and I think really as teachers, what we want to do is take a look at if there are patterns or if there are answers, for example, or particular standards or particular items that most of the students got right and got wrong. That way we can do our plan intervention very quickly. Now, in order for me to do that, I use what is called an add-on, and that would be Flubaroo. Okay, Flubaroo is a free add-on. I think it's so important to stress that this add-on is free. So if you have a Google account and if you want to do some data crunching, Flubaroo is a great add-on for you. And I'll show you in a minute what it does. But really, it's a great Google spreadsheet add-on. You can quickly install it just by going to extensions and add-ons and install it there. It will just go immediately into your sheet. And what it can do is it can analyze a lot of the assignments that you have or a lot of the data that you might get when you are creating assessments. So let's see what it can do. So here, I've already installed Flubaroo, okay, into this particular sheet. So you will find it here. This is the other add-on that I usually use, Autocrat. It's been a bit glitchy lately, but maybe at a different time I can show you what that does. So here, this is Flubaroo. Because I've tested here, it's asking me if I want to regrade the assignment. And so I will do that just to show you, regrade the assignment. And you can see that it's working. So it will tell me that it will update. So I will say, yes, I want to continue. And then it goes me to this one, takes me to this window. What I like about Flubaroo is that it's really very user friendly. So it's telling you already that's step one. Okay. Now, what it does is it asks you what your option is for each of the columns that you have in that sheet. So, for example, the question on email addresses, obviously, that just identifies the student. Because here, it will show you what it is that you can use as an identifier for that particular question. So you have the option to show it identifies the student. You can skip grading, normal grading, or grade by hand. Okay, so those are the options for you in Flubaroo. Okay, I hope you can see it. I can see that there's a little hang on the screen. If you can tell me in the private chat, Manu, if everything's okay. All right. So here you can say, see for example, identify students, skip grading, and normal grading. Okay. So obviously for each of these categories, I will make sure that I tell Flubaroo what it is. So for complete name, it just basically identifies the student. For grade level and section, it's still identification. And here you will find the items, the questions that I ask my students to answer using the Google form. And here I will say that it's just for normal grading. And here it will ask me how many points. So that's one. So let's pretend that everyone has 1 point for each correct answer that they have. And you can see that I've set that up. In fact, I didn't set this up. What happened was Flubaroo just instinctively figured out that those were things that had to be graded. So it makes my life easier too. Okay, so now that all of that is set up all the way to question 45, I can now continue. Okay, once I click continue, Flubaroo takes me to the second step. And here, it will ask me which one is the answer key. So normally, when I create an assessment in Google Form, the first entry will be my entry, and I will always mark that as the answer key. But sometimes you forget. So you can actually just choose a student. So let's say it will be the first one. That will be me, and that will be the answer key. So Flubaroo now bases all of the answers of the next few students to the answers of answer A. So it will correct it automatically that way. Okay, so we just press continue. Okay, so now you will see that Flubaroo is creating the assignment. So it will take a few minutes, but what it usually does is it creates a new sheet. So it's created that for me automatically. And it tells me how my students fared. It tells me that it's complete. And so I just close that window and now I have my data. What does it tell me? So it tells me that I have 46 possible points. But more important to me is that here in this particular test, my students only average 10.5. So that means that I have several items that they got wrong. So that already informs me and gives me good decision points in order for me to change the way I teach, let's say in the classroom, because obviously with results like this, my kids are just not getting it. So you will see here also that Flubaroo tells me which ones are low. Okay, so for example, here, all the ones that are orange means that they are below 50%. So you will see that only 30% of my students got item number 1A correct. So that tells me already, okay, they cannot explain or they cannot do. Now, each of the items will be attached to a standard. And normally I will write that here, what standard it is that that item is testing. And it immediately tells me that that particular standard needs to be worked on because it tells me in orange immediately that these are the standards my kids can't do. So there are very few that they can do. The ones in white are the ones wherein it's above 50% of my students that are able to do. So that means that they can make conclusions. And from there, I can extrapolate or I can already see how it is that I can change the way I teach in this particular class to help them achieve the standards better. So this is very simple. It's Flubaroo. It makes life easier for all teachers who need to analyze data and really make informed decisions about the things that they need to do in order to make sure that all of their students actually are able to access the material. It's all about equity, so to speak. So that's it. That's my short, really my short sharing with you of what it is that Google can do for you when you know what you're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Man. Thank you so much for giving us the insight of how we can manage our quizzes in the classroom using this wonderful tool. Right now,
Mhm.
I don't see any questions, but in case within, in some time, if some question comes in, I will, call you back and we can take it after that.
No problem. No problem at all. So, everyone, I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. All right. So this was Man with us, who was giving us the insight of how we can use this wonderful, amazing tool. Now, the next speaker that we have with us is Joseph. Joseph is from Philippines, and Joseph, I'm going to add you. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Manu. Hello,
Welcome.
everyone.
Hello. Welcome to this webinar series, the very first chapter. So, I would like to introduce you to the lovely audience that we have here. So, Joseph is from Philippines, and he's also known by he goes by the name Gab, and he's an educado. Is currently working as an elementary school teacher, level 3 of Department of Education, Division of City, a division teacher broadcaster for both radio and a TV based instructions. He's a part time college instructor teaching professional education subjects to pre service teachers and has served for almost 4 years as a former teacher to the indigenous people to a small IP community in the mountains of City. He's also a passionate advocate for inclusive education and the professional development of teacher, and he has co-founded You Teach Philippines Negroes Island in 2016 and is now active in creating programs and activities that enable young teachers to be equipped with essential tools and skills in bringing quality instructions into the classroom. He has many more laurels and he likes to really get engaged with the topics like youth empowerment, development work, cultural and heritage conservation, design thinking, and everything related to EdTech. So I'm going to hand over the stage to you, Gabriel. Joseph Gabriel is here for you, everyone. So, Joseph, I'm going to, once you're ready with your screen, I'm going to put it in the channel. Over to you.
Okay. So, Manu, is it visible on your end? Right there. Okay. Thank you, Manu. Again, hello, everyone, and mabuhay from the Philippines. My name is Gabi Tocado. I am a Google certified trainer, innovator from VIA 21, and a proud Moat ambassador. And I would like to explore with you the idea of podcasting with Moat in Google Slides for the purpose of fostering student creativity with and through audio. So, according to Moat, podcasting in the classroom is a creative outlet that us educators can leverage to allow students to share their thinking, tell a unique story, and express their perspectives through the creative use of audio. Traditionally, podcasting is a relatively complex and often a multi step process that requires not only planning for content, but a comfort level with capturing audio, editing, and even publishing. For some, the technical process may be too great a barrier to provide students with the opportunity to express themselves through audio. So, Moat in Google Slides is the ideal solution that allows our learners, our students, to create micro podcasts. So, instead of getting bogged down with the technical barriers, by using Moat, in 90-second audio clips to act as a single podcasting tool, the barrier to entry for classroom creation is lowered, increasing accessibility for all students to create. And ladies and gentlemen, Moat with Google can definitely do this. So, the concept of podcasting with Moat is a little bit different than traditional podcasting, and we want to clearly differentiate what Moat podcasting with Google Slides look like as to compare with traditional podcasting. I think the two primary ideas that we might want to focus on is that Moat podcasting with Google Slides allows you to remove, first, technical barriers. So you won't get into editing, okay, or high end and complex audio production. It's really having to focus on students sharing their ideas in a very familiar space like Google Slides and bringing out those ideas for others to listen to. So, moving forward, the questions are why podcasting and why podcasting with Mode? Okay, so here's a question that I really want to address. How might we allow students to creatively express their understanding by creating these micro podcasting environment with Mode? So, unlike the traditional podcasting environment where there's advanced editing, there's longer episodes that run from what? Anything between 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Or even longer, an episode. But we're going to talk about smaller micro podcasting in a familiar environment like Google Slides with the premium version of Moat. But again, the regular version or the free version of Moat still could do wonders, right? Students and educators can add 90-second audio clips into Google Slides, and as opposed to a traditional podcasting environment where there's one that singular very long edited audio, we're just gonna connect one audio clip to the next in sequence in order to build up an episode or concept which learners are gonna explore. So why we should bother in doing this? And how might we allow a free flow of student creativity? So the way I like to approach this is that educators traditionally might allow one outlet for learners. Okay, it might be through a linear text, through a digital document. But again, oftentimes we're not necessarily assessing students to write their idea clearly or explain their thinking through text, but we're assessing their ability to understanding the concept. And this is where audio clips like from Moat and micro podcasting really come into play. So, traditional podcasting versus Moat micro podcasting. First, obviously, we're looking into shorter episode lengths because we're going to be merging 90-second audio clips in an interconnected digital space. And later, I'll show you what it's look like. Second, there's no editing, so we don't need to worry about post-production, right? If the learners has a misstep or if they don't like their response or their recorded response, they can simply delete it from the slides and redo it, right? Third, there's no subscribing, so we don't need to worry about pushing this into the global podcasting space and have someone subscribe, right? We will simply just share the link of the final product when we're done. Next, so distribution will come in the form of a published set of Google Slides. And if some has that set, they can revisit the show and everything will be very organized and convenient since all of the elements there are clickable to get to one episode to another. Another point also is that we can actually decide if it's public or private. Since our learners are publishing this in a Google Slides environment, they can actually decide if they'll publish this in a global stage through the web or simply share it to the class or to you as the teacher. And one last point here, and one of the most important, I guess, is that this environment, the micro podcasting in Google Slides, allows for collaboration. So multiple students in one group can be in the same environment at once. One classmate can record an audio snippet and the other could also do that. And they can go in sequence in order to build the process of the show or that of an episode. All right. So now that we have the general concept, we get now the chance to jump into this template provided by Mode. I'll be sharing the link also to Manu so that you could also get a copy of this and start exploring what the setup is going to be like when we want our students to create a micro podcast in Google Slides. So let me now open up this template so that we can get started and show you how you can navigate, add audio, and build out a show and publish this when done. Okay, So just a minute, let me just stop sharing first. And I would like to share another tab for this template. Okay, so I hope this is visible on your end. Okay, right there. Thank you, Manu. Okay, so here we are in this template, sorry. Yeah. For Moat Micro Podcasting with Google Slides. And a huge shout out first to our friends from Moat and to Moat, no? To the team from Moat for providing this template. So let me walk through you in the layout of this template and explain how this whole template works. Okay. So you can see here that we have a slide that really acts as a homepage or a landing page for your micro podcast, right? Provided here are an 8 episode project that your learners can work on. This could be distributed into one group of students, right? So you might make a copy of this and distribute it to 3 to 4 students. And they might want to make all 8 episodes if they can do that. Or you can go a little bit bigger, right? Have a single template, have this one, collaboratively worked on by the whole class, right? And where you might have 3 to 4 students working on one episode, or each class. If you have multiple classes, you can assign each class to take one episode to develop as a micro podcast. All of the content here are links. So if we're done and publish this out, one can simply click and they'll be brought to that particular episode slide. They can also click right there on the number on the left also, right? Which will take them on the particular slide for that episode as well. So this 8 episode project template is like a standard template provided by Moat. But you can always expand this, right? You can always expand this by creating more placeholder slides for you if you want to expand the show itself. You could move the columns here. You could move these columns here on the left and adjust it and add um, episodes 9 through 12. Okay. So with that, let's jump into the slides which acts as a home base for each episode. Okay. So we are now on the episode 1 slide. You'll notice here that each episode is built out exactly the same. Okay. So that's part of being organizing the ideas of our learners as well. So we have a section here for the show's description where they can add a bit of an introduction or an overview of the whole episode. A space where they can add notes as well, right? And resources just below it, or links even to external resources. And now, since you are working with Moat in Google Slides, and we are kind of progressing in a way that we are approaching podcasting in a new direction, you'll notice here that Moat built here 3 columns representing the episode flow. Okay, so this one column, the second one, and the third column. In the first column, that's where the students will introduce the show and the concept where they will be talking about by adding 90-second Moat audio clips. And then in the subsequent boxes, they could then post a question focusing on the episode concept. And then we have here also a space for a question reply, and then another space for that another reply. Okay. And then you can see that it's connected, right? We have an interconnecting line here, which means you can transit to your concept to here, present the question that is related to the second concept, and have 2 rounds of a 90-seconder audios for students to reply. Okay? Okay, so what's great about this is that students are now expected to concisely and effectively explain their thinking, both on the question, on the concept, or the reply in 90 seconds. So they have to do some legwork really to prepare, right? To figure out what they are going to talk about in that limited amount of time. And oftentimes, it's that case really where we provide constraints, most especially to the time and space where they are working that kind of projects, it acts as of a benefit of allowing them to think more creatively, right? On how might they explain their thinking within that 90-second limit of an audio clip. Okay, so and then we transit. There's a transition to concept 3 here, and then have the question regarding concept number 3, have a reply and another closing reply, and after that, you now have an entire show built out of this episode template. So at this point, let me now show you what this looks like when students add audio and then publish this micro podcast, this final product, to share it out to anyone to listen to. Okay, so make sure first, teachers, that you have the Mote add-on installed on your Chrome browser. Okay, so if we click on our Mote recorder, and then let's click start, and I will be recording a simple, a short introduction for this episode. Hello, everyone. I am Gab Educado, and this is Podcasting with Mote. Right here, I'll be presenting what Mote can do in creating spaces for students to foster creativity through responding and by using Google Slides and Mote in creating micro podcasts. Now, teachers, that's an example of an introduction that your learners or even you as an educator could put. So so simply just click on complete, and Mote will do the thinking, will do the magic behind. And once that is done, you can now insert it on your Google Slides with all of this auto magical process doing in the background. So it's creating the audio right now. And when that is done, Mote will give you like this little audio icon where you can put it here. Okay, so let's test it out. Okay, so once that is done, okay, and the same process could be done through all of these sections. Okay, so that's very simple, right? At this point, let's take the look at the idea of publishing this so that we can see how this looks like from a published perspective. Okay, so first and foremost, you go to File, and then go down and click Publish to the Web. Okay, so if you click on Publish to the Web, you will now be given this window wherein, okay, there are still options there. But again, the very important button here is the Publish button. Just click OK. And once that is done, you now have this link to share to anyone who wants to listen to your show. Okay, so let's copy this. And you just need to paste this on your browser to visit the episode link. Okay, so that's it. That's the very simple way of adding those audio clips to complete your micro podcasting episode and publishing it in the web. Okay, so with that, let me stop again presenting. Let's go back to my original slides just to do the closing. Okay. Okay, so we're back to my original slides. Okay, so now that we have explained the concept behind micro podcasting, I walked you through the template, the thinking involved, the layout. At this point, I would like to make sure that you are now ready to get started. Okay, so first, what you can do is to make a copy of the slides template. And now, if you have the whole class doing this activity, you could post this in your learning management systems, as anyone with the link can edit. And all of your students will now be able to edit and add to this set of slides, right? Or if you have maybe 4 or 5 groups, you can make 4 or 5 copies of the template, give editing rights to those students that have access to the particular group's work, just to jumpstart their micro podcasting project. Second, you may also walk them through on the process of adding audio to the slides and make sure they are ready to get started. Okay. Third, obviously, they need to do some serious legwork on creating the topic. What's the purpose? What are the three driving questions they like to ask, and how they can reply to those effectively? And once they're ready to go, you can now assign those templates out and have them start on their work. Okay. So at this point, thank you everyone for listening and creating podcasts and doing some awesome micro podcasting with Moat in Google Slides. I hope that this pizzazz can be an effective addition in your classrooms, and it can give you and your learners a new creative outlet to leverage Moat Audio and Google Slides. So with that, thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Manu?
That was so insightful, Joseph. Thank you so much for teaching this wonderful tool. And I'm sure for our next series, we will have something more coming up from your side. And, we'll get something new to learn about podcasting. So thank you so much. And I'm going to move on to our new speaker, the next speaker for today. We have with us JB Park from South Korea. So I'm just going to add him to the stream. Hi, JP.
Hello, nice to meet you. Good evening.
Good evening. So
Shall I
JP
start?
is an Yeah,
Mm.
just a minute. I'll just introduce you to the audience. JP is the elementary school teacher. He's also Google for Education certified innovator and Apple distinguished educator. He's also the vice president of Korean Smart Education Society, and he's going to teach us something new that we are waiting eagerly to take on. So, JP, over to you. I'm going to start sharing your screen once you're ready. Over to you, JP.
Thank you, Mana. Okay, let me start. Okay. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is JP. I'm from South Korea. I want to talk to you about Jamboard background today. Oh, the typo. Jamboard background, actually. Okay. Yeah. Actually, Jamboard is originally the device that uh, remote to work remotely together. But nowadays, Google provides Jamboard tools for the educators. Okay, this is kind of a sample from American teacher. Uh, you can provide a picture to students and let them answer the question. The students write their name and uh, their thought with the tools in the right. Or you can see the pen, eraser, and select tool, and it's a sticky note, image, shape, and typewriter, and laser point also. Okay, let's see there. Sample. Okay. Actually, this is Jamboard, and you can use pen, then you can erase, and you can select. But notice that you cannot select anything here. I will tell you why. Okay, and you can use sticky note, and you can insert image from your computer or your Google Drive or internet search also. And you can draw shapes, and you can write letters. But if you provide this demo to your student, it will make your student into the chaos. At the first time, my students told me, "Oh, teacher, what should I do here?" Yeah, because it's a blank one. They don't know. They didn't know what to do. So I made up my mind to give them some kind of guide. So you can make them. Okay, let's go to next. sorry. Yeah, it's a kind of sample, and also it's a kind of sample. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. So, what should I do with this slide? I can make a Jamboard for practice. Yeah, I forgot to write. Uh, oh, sorry, sorry. They can practice the sound B with this Jamboard. So I will make this with make a Jamboard for practice with the slide. I'll show you how to do. Okay, you can draw you need, and then you can download this slide as an image. So download and JPG or PNG. Okay, JPG, and then go to Jamboard and set background image and browse your image, download here, and here. And then you can make sticky note, for example, A, A, or sorry, B, and D. And then let your student find the letter, which letter is right. And then they will do like this. Oh, you can make it small, and then the kids will practice the sound of B with this slide. So there's some example for this, and this is for English, and you already saw this sample, and then some of obviously some, yeah, yeah, this one is sorry, it's in Korean. It's a kind of a travel report for the students. To write the travel report, they have to prepare something. So this is kind of schedule, and this is what they saw and heard, and this is what they felt. So they will write down. And so I made this poem for them. And the other one is okay. Okay, this one. This one is a kind of a feeling roster. I I hide the name of my students, and the students choose their feeling, and then move the picture on their name. And each day they do this with a Jamboard. Okay, I made a background for this full roster. And then let me see. Actually, in Korea, we provide the digital textbook for the students, so I can make the copy or photocopy of the textbook easily. I just made a screenshot with, for example, this one. This one is English textbook. I made a screenshot, and yeah. So this is Korean. This is English word, Korean word. They will matching. So captain is 선장. Ours is 지도. For example, space is 우주. And then um, yeah, they have to answer. This is also photocopy. The student cannot move this. They can only move this circle, and then they will answer the question. Maybe this one is right. I don't know. I don't know exactly. So it's kind of one thing. And I'll make this one also. With this one, this is for the science subject. They study about the temperature and the heat. This is the picture, and then I will make it. Make Jamboard with these pictures also. Download the JPG, and then go to Jamboard. And let me see. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'll set background and choose the file. And I give them a homework with this Jamboard at Google Classroom. Google Classroom. So I will make a Google Classroom. And classwork, great. Okay, I change it to English. Science and drive. Okay, student, make a copy for the student, and then assign. Then the students get student open this Jamboard. Okay, notice that the title is Spot User. This is the student's name. The Google Classroom automatically make a copy of homework files for the students. Okay, and then they will use the type tool, and here they will write something. I'm sorry, I start it, blah blah blah. So this is kind of sample. Then this is my when my student did, one of my students did this, and they write each sentence for the pictures. You can use this like, and you can use it as an evaluation. For example, Jamboard. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, this one. It's a it was kind of music class. They studied about opera, musical, and Chinese. How can I say Chinese musical and Japanese musical? So they will draw. They use pen, and if you use the shift key, you can draw straight line like this. Opera and musical, and musical is from England. The musical is from England like this. So the students do this like what the students will do like this. And finally, I will introduce the Facebook group. There, this one, yes. Teachers using Jamboard. Okay, I will give this. How can I? I don't know how can I share this to you. Yeah, yeah. I can give you with the lip, reply on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, very it's very long. And finally, this one is the okay. This one is many sample Jamboard. So I will give you this link also. The oh, I was blocked. Oh, I think there's some problem. Yes, go. Here we go. And this one and the last one is yeah. Okay, that's it for today. Manu, Manu.
Thank you so much, JP. That was very insightful and I thoroughly loved it. You gave me the idea how I can conduct, and use this Jamboard tool in my pre-primary classes also. It was very insightful. Thank you so much. And
Thank you so much.
I would now like to call all the speakers online. We have Deepti Ma'am with
That
us.
was absolutely amazing.
Thank you so
I
much.
think each one of you, Man, the Flubaroo was something that we use very, very basically. But the kind of analysis you showed our ecosystem today is something that will help everybody to be able to comprehend data so easily. So thank you for doing that for us. Gab, I think you are a performer. You should be in a radio station or the television station. I don't know what you're doing here in the teaching community. So that moat was something phenomenal, and the way you structured each style, that the teachers and the children will absolutely love that. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. JP, I think you were the sweetheart of the session today, because we all love the little children. And what you did, so don't think that it is because of you and your pretty face. It's only because you deal with the little children, that Jamboard and its use was superb. And I think the resources that you were trying so gracefully to share with us, and we couldn't, actually do that right now. But I'm going to request Manu to take those resources from you and share it with our audience today. Today is also one of the days where our board exam, the country's exams for 12th have come out. So matched it with us with our launch today. So the session is thin, but I have lots and lots of people in Google in India who love you. They are your fans, and I'm sure that we will be circulating this video all over, and they will love seeing what we got for them today. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for serving the Google community the way you always do, with love and with passion. Thank you for being here. And Manu, you were superlative. This is Manu's first month with us at Mahatattva, and she is absolutely soaring. So well done, Manu, and thank you for getting this together for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. JP, Joseph, Man, thank you so much. We'll be in touch
Manu,
and we look forward to have more sessions with you.
Manu, can
Yes,
you do me
go
a
ahead.
favor?
JP, we
Yeah,
can't hear you. We can hear you saying something, but the sound's not coming for us. We
yeah.
can't hear
Could you
you.
could you
And
share the link I wrote?
no,
Yeah, wait,
we
I
can't
will.
hear
I
you.
will.
Yeah.
Manu,
Sure,
is there
I'm sharing.
something we can do?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sharing it from the chat. I'm putting it in the comments of
I
YouTube.
can't hear you as well. So, so it's time to go off, I think.
Thank you.
Sultan
Thank
is
you.
saying, everybody go home and rest. Bye bye. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you,
Evening.
everyone.
Thank you,
See you.
Bye.
everyone. Bye.